Alrighty, we are ready to start off the first load in the Fisher and Paykel that I restored in the previous video. It's a very large load of normal clothes. We're ready to get started. So I'm going to go ahead and start setting the options. We're going to be doing heavy duty, so it's a long wash. No options, warm water, high water level, fast spin. Here we go. So it was yesterday that I restored this washer. I tested it today, and it is taking water, so my seal work did work. I'm going to toss in some Persil that I have in my little container here. Probably a good 3 scoops. This is the largest Fisher I've ever restored. It's 7.5 kg. This thing can hold quite a bit. And as I was saying, I did test this, so I noticed it does fill incredibly high. I've lost track of how many scoops I've put in here. I'm going to stop here. I tested the pump. It's at 34.4 ohms, so we're all good on that. Oh yeah. There's some water in there. Washes pretty well as well. Yeah. So, this is the first time I've run this thing inside my laundry room alongside the whirlpool. This is what it looks like. It's pretty cool. It's a big washer. It didn't even make the floor. See? It's quite a wide washer. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. I haven't filmed one of these in a long time, and it's definitely nice to own one of these again. So I haven't seen one of these washed in ages. So, yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. I changed the temperature to warm cold. Seem to be putting in a lot of hot water, so plus it'll make it fill quicker. That's what I meant when I said it feels quite high. It does feel very high. Washes just like the Intuitive Eco. That's interesting. This is awesome. I'm so glad I fixed this. Guys, this is doing an amazing job. I love how high this thing fills. And you can't even see the green microfiber anymore. That's already gone. The wash action on this is incredibly similar to the Intuitive Ecos. It's not exactly like it, but it's very close to it. Hey look, there it is already. It's coming up already. That is incredible. So there you have it. This thing can perform. I'm gonna take this off the tripod. This is too fun. So there you have it. This is what it looks like. Oh yeah. Just open it up. My overalls are in here right now. I did throw these in the test while I was testing it, since it could take water. I usually do that with my overalls. If I fix the machine that I've worked on, I put my overalls in it while I test it. This thing is nice and quiet. It runs pretty quickly too. Each of these green lights represents 3 minutes of vegetation. So the longest wash cycle on here is 15 minutes, and the rinses are respectively short. Especially the deep rinse. I think that's only like 1 minute, the deep rinse. Here's another view. And finally, that's what it sounds like. The lid's closed. With the lid closed. pretty good. Alright, I'm gonna let this thing do its job. I'll talk again when this thing is ready to rinse. making that noise. So usually when the washer's been quite loaded, maybe after so and so of having it run, I believe what happens is it gets hot. And it makes that awful noise. And I also think it affects the agitation just a little bit. I think it might have slowed it. I think it might have slowed it down a tiny little bit. If any of you Fisher and Paykel experts know more on that, because that's just my theory. I've been repairing these for more than half a year now, but there are still some things I don't know about them, so like that noise, if you know something about that, that would be really helpful for me to know what it's all about. Anyway, so it's stopped now. It's only agitated for 15 minutes. That's the longest wash cycle on here. And you see the pump started draining almost immediately after the machine had finished washing. And you might notice that the pump, it stops for a fraction of a second and then restarts. That is part of what they call the lint removal system. It's just the typical thing where lint enters the middle of the agitator, it's pulled down into the outer tub where it floats up to the top, and it stays between the inner and outer bowls because the holes in the tub were designed to let water come through, but make sure that the lint doesn't get through. So it stays there until the machine pumps the water out. And I suppose to make sure that the pump doesn't get clogged in any way as it's removing the lint from in between the inner and outer tubs, that's why it does the pause, the fraction of a second pause. So it does it every 10 seconds. And it's a really interesting lint removal system. I don't know how well it works, but I mean, I guess I feel good that it's trying to remove some lint, so yeah. These pumps are probably the most vulnerable parts on this washer. Like, I think this is the only one that I've come across that hasn't had a pump issue. The other Fishers that I've mended have had pump issues because the resistance of them has lowered below 32 ohms, and as a result they overheat. And yeah, so pretty poor design. They weren't really made to last, those pumps. They're very easy to replace. It's just a matter of sliding it out of position. But yeah, it's just they weren't made to last. They don't make them like they used to. I mean, this is still a washing machine, so very easy to work on. And what you just saw there, all those movements, was the agitator moving to make sure that the basket had floated down so that the agitator can spin the tub. That's how come this thing doesn't need a transmission, because it's actually the tub that controls. It floats up when it agitates. Oh, hang on. Forgot about that. I still need to disable the lid switch. I probably won't. I can't be bothered. Plus, when I sell this washer, I'll have to put it back to normal. we go. Sounds pretty good. This sounds much better. You can't hear the bearings. All you can hear, that noise that you're hearing is the pump. It's not the bearings, it's the pump. And you can also see the fabric softener dispensing. It's actually relatively quiet, this machine. Of course, the loudest this thing is during the 1000 RPM spin, final spin. So now it's accelerated just a little bit, and we're going to do a spray rinse now. There we are. I might take the camera off the tripod and show you this. There we go. Do a little acceleration. How fast that is. I think it's like between 600 and 700 RPMs. What is that? Sure of what that noise was. I think it's one of the suspension rods actually now. Yeah, I think one of the suspension rods is playing up. Because I was moving this around quite a bit before I fixed it, and I noticed that one of the suspension rods made a bit of noise. Grab that from a different angle. So that is 4 spray rinses, actually 5 spray rinses, and it's going to accelerate up to the other speed it was at, and then it'll do the deep rinse, and that's going to complete that rinse light. investigate that noise. Because it's definitely one of the suspension rods. I can just tell. Okay. Alright, it's quite bad. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that. I hope it's not anything to do with the seal. I'll have to investigate that. It didn't do that while I was testing it. That's why I have to conclude it wasn't the seal. And that because it's got a load to balance, we might be causing one of the suspension rods to play up. So I might end up buying new suspension rods for this machine. Maybe. If the noise continues, I'll do that. So, rinsing. So the first rinse light is spray rinsing. The second rinse light is deep rinse. And the deep rinse is only 1 minute. So, if I ever get my Maytag running, I think it's only 1 minute. I haven't actually timed it. It is close to 1 minute though. I'll have to grab the if I get the Maytag fixed, I'll have to run that side by side with this one. See which one can do a quicker rinse. That'll be fun. Alright. So, filling. Oh, and yeah, the lid unlocked. So. level that high. Oh yeah. I like how high this thing goes. Awesome. I think it's doing something different. I think the stroke of the agitation is faster. So this is only 1 minute. Sometimes I find that it's not enough to get rid of all the air bubbles, but I don't know, maybe this one could do it, because it's larger, and it has it's doing a different agitation from the smaller ones. So I might be able to make some progress as far as air bubbles go. This thing is, because all the clothes have sucked up some water, so it's not as high as it was in the wash cycle, and as a result it's kind of exposed the fins a bit more, and that's making this really splashy. Like, it's filling up the fabric softener. It's filling up the fabric softener cup. Whoa, did you see how quick it went into drain there? I thought it did pretty good with that rinse. I think it, like, generally got most of the air bubbles out. So, yeah, maybe this thing did pretty good. I'm glad. So there we are, draining again, doing the same lint removal system method. And the fabric softener cup filled up a bit more, so let me... drain that out. Yep. So, I don't know if you were with me on the rinse fill, you saw the tub start floating up. So that was the tub detaching from the agitator so that it could move independently. So now what's going to happen is the tub is going to float back down, and the stator is going to wiggle the agitator a little bit to get it, make sure that the tub has floated down and that it's ready for spin. And I don't know when it's going to do that, but it looks like the tub is already floating down. So, yeah, I'm pretty good on that. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, so that's what the purpose of the agitator wobbling is. Oh, let me go get the coat hanger. There it goes. So it just did its little check there. So we are ready to go into spin. And might I note, spin. My camera's at 11 minutes battery life, so hopefully we can get this final spin in. It's only 6 minutes, the final spin, but I can only hope. Oh, it's at 10 minutes now. I can only hope that the camera display or the estimate of how long it's going to last is on point. Still draining. That was another check. Now, oh, here we go. Yeah. Hopefully the suspension rod doesn't play up. If it does, that's fine. Move the camera back a little bit because it looks like the tub floated up a little bit, I guess. It just wasn't centered properly, so let me wipe this down. There we go. Make sure this thing is set to, oh yeah, it is set to the fast spin. Here we go. Hopefully it doesn't create too much ruckus. Sometimes they can. They can be very noisy. See, there goes the suspension rod playing up. Is 1,000 RPMs, and the suspension rod has played up, so it's very noisy. I'll definitely get it replaced. It does this for a total of 6 minutes. Alrighty. So that's quite bad, the suspension rod. I'll end up replacing that soon. So, anyways, I can't talk for very long. My camera's only got 2 minutes left, so I'm gonna have to wrap the video up here. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.